All right, a good Tuesday, Piedmont Triad. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this on WFMY Plus, this video recorded at about 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning. If it's after that, you might want to seek some more updated information on our website and on our social channels as well. As we look out across Greensboro this morning, it's been a foggy and a bit of a damp morning across the Piedmont. And of course, we had some really heavy rain early on for a lot of folks. We'll be socked in under the clouds for most of the day. You can see that we don't really have a lot of rain to talk about here in the midday hours. I expect that we'll be pretty dry through the early afternoon. We may even see a few peaks of sunshine, but that rain that we had earlier now finally pushing east of Raleigh, but really has been dropping a lot of rain for those folks and dropped over 1.5 inches out of the airport in Greensboro very early this morning. If you look at the southeast, really the Carolinas pretty quiet this morning other than a few scattered showers. There is a cold front back to the west though that is of course producing some scattered showers and thunderstorms even up over parts of Kentucky and into Ohio. This is just the beginning of the week. We have yet to see the impacts from what is soon to be Helene down in the Caribbean, eventually moving into the Gulf. And we'll get into that in just a moment. We have to talk about somewhat busy week of weather before we even get there. We have a warm front lifting to the north, also a little disturbance that's moving by today. And that could give us another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms as we get into this evening. Same kind of thing for your Wednesday. Around the scattered evening thunderstorms will be possible, but I expect Thursday will mostly be a dry day with just an isolated shower chance for our area. After that, our focus has really been on trying to nail down even more in detail what the Carolinas could be seeing from what is soon to be Helene as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. And just look, our futurecast already starting to paint the picture by Thursday evening and into Friday that we have a lot of rain on the way across the Carolinas. And I think it's also really spelling some problems for our North Carolina mountains and for our foothills as well. So we're starting to iron out the details a little bit closer, but keep in mind this system has yet to form. It hasn't even formed yet, but it's in the process of doing that. Here's how it looks for the rest of today, though, on Futurecast. Again, we have the clouds, a few peaks of sunshine here and there. Temperatures in the upper 70s by late afternoon. But once we get into this evening, I really want you watching after about 4 o'clock up until midnight for another round of scattered showers and potentially some slow-moving, strong thunderstorms that may put down a lot of rain. We'd also need to be concerned about some flooding concerns as well. And that may even include some of the same folks who had flooding concerns just 1 week ago in the northern Piedmont. So things looking like it could be a little busy this evening. Of course, we have a low severe weather risk today. Any of the strongest storms that pop up, though, could produce some damaging wind, possibly some hail, and really concerned about the potential for flash flooding in some of those areas as well. After that, we cleared out heading into our Wednesday a bit more, but we'll also have another round of scattered storms to watch for tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's talk about what is soon to be Helene, about 150 miles as of last check early this morning from Grand Cayman. It has 35-mile-per-hour winds right now, so it has not reached that tropical storm strength, but you can see this really starting to develop and looking strong, looking healthy here in the Caribbean Sea. It will move into the Gulf of Mexico as we go into this evening and into tomorrow, and by that time it will likely be a tropical storm. I want to show you some of the future computer models or spaghetti plots that we call them, all really in good agreement here on where this thing is going to go. It's going to move into the Caribbean Sea, and everything is really starting to hone in on a landfall along the Florida Panhandle, right? So I think Louisiana, Mississippi going to be in the clear from this one, of course, but the Panhandle of Florida is looking like the most likely place where this will come ashore. Still not exactly sure on the exact location, but you notice the good agreement here. And then there's really good agreement that it does start to take that turn to the north and west once it moves inland. But just notice, it could be as far west as here. It could be as far east as taking the center through the North Carolina mountains. Those look like the extremes right now, but there is good agreement that it moves to the north and west and likely moves up over Tennessee. Still, I think we're going to see some impacts in the way of rain and wind here in the Piedmont from that system. So here's the latest track on Helene. This came out this morning, but it likely becomes a tropical storm later this evening and into tomorrow, and then further strengthens pretty quickly in the Gulf of Mexico, potentially reaching Category 3 status, a major hurricane with 115-mile-per-hour winds before it does make landfall in the Florida Panhandle. After that, you'll notice that general motion to the north and west that it tracks, but the cone of uncertainty here, always like to remind you that this is where the center of the storm could track, not necessarily where the impacts are. So the center of the storm could be way far west out over middle Tennessee. The center of the storm could again be out over the mountains of North Carolina and closer to the Piedmont. So there's still a lot of wiggle room here. And again, remember, the storm really hasn't even fully developed yet. So we have opportunity to go, and impacts from these storms extend far outside of the center of the storm. So that means this far to the west, this far to the east as well. So that's one thing that we're paying closer attention to over the next couple of days. I think our biggest concern here is going to be for rainfall, and especially for our friends up in the North Carolina foothills and mountains. These folks could really get whopped with rain. 5 to 7 inches the way I see it right now, but there could be even some higher amounts in that. And once the storm forms and we get a better idea of the track and strength, we may see those rain totals go up even more, especially west of the Piedmont. For now, I think our area is on go for anywhere from about 3 to 5 inches of rain. And that's nothing to sneeze at, right? That's a good, healthy amount of rain when we've already had a good amount of rain as well. And so that would, of course, lend itself to some flooding problems for our area as well. But some major flooding problems could persist up over the North Carolina mountains with that much rain. About 2 to 3 inches further east that you go, the higher impacts from this system are going to be west of the Piedmont. As far as wind goes, I think we are going to be on go for some gusty winds, but the exact miles per hour specifics here are still a little bit fuzzy, again, because the system hasn't formed and we don't really know how quickly this thing is going to weaken after it hits land. But just know, higher wind gusts up in the mountains, generally some gusty winds here in the Piedmont as well. Some models are spitting out some 20 to 30 mile per hour gust. That I see as an easy possibility for our area, much higher than that, maybe some 50 plus mile per hour gust up in the mountains, right? You factor in all that rain, flooding concerns, along with a lot of wind, you know what happens around here. It doesn't take a whole lot to bring down trees, cause power outages, and really cause some issues. So that's one thing we'll be watching and trying to fine tune for you over the next couple of days. Bottom line, Hurricane Helene is likely to form and hit Florida on Thursday. That's almost a given at this point. Heavy rain and gusty winds are also possible for our area, and that heavy rain really is looking likely. So just keep up to date, pay attention to our forecast. We'll be fine tuning those details again a bit more as we get a little closer over the next couple of days. We have issued a News 2 weather impact alert day for your Friday, and that's because we want you to pay more attention to that. It's really an all-day thing, with heavy rain looking likely along with gusty winds, and that lasts all day. I'm thinking by Friday evening, if this thing speeds up, we should really be improving and our winds should be dying down. So what you can do in the meantime, make sure your devices are charged up, clear any drains around the house. If you have loose lawn furniture or patio furniture, you might want to tie that down, be thinking about that, or maybe go ahead and bring that inside, because if not, it's likely going to get blown around on Friday. Okay, so we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, for your Tuesday, mix of scattered clouds, a few peaks of sunshine. Again, we'll watch for that scattered shower and storm chance, especially as we work our way into this evening and into tonight. So be mindful of that and keep checking back on the forecast for that. We're down in the mid-60s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky. It'll move to partly cloudy by Wednesday morning. For Thursday, we're mostly dry, just an isolated shower chance for your Thursday. That News 2 weather impact alert day in effect for your Friday. Heavy rain and gusty winds from soon to be Helene are likely in the Piedmont.